This is a special presentation of EA Sports from the Coliseum in Oakland, our tribute to the coach, the John Madden Legacy Game. I'm Brandon Gaudin here to take you through the proceedings, and coming up, we're going to tell the story of a man who was truly larger than life and whose impact on the sport of football, certainly it's going to live on for decades and decades to come. Now, we've assembled a couple of rosters featuring some of Coach's favorite players from both yesterday and today, and Coach himself will be on the sidelines for both squads, trying to motivate his guys to victory. And I'm joined now by my good friend Charles Davis. CD, your thoughts on John Madden and what he meant to the sport he loves so much?
For me, Brandon, it's the word joy. He brought that to the game of football and brought the game to so many people. He stayed involved his entire life. And moving forward, when you think of football, you're always going to think John Madden.
One time for old times. What do you say we play some football as we are underway from Oakland in the John Madden Legacy Game? And this will go as a touchback, and they will begin things at the 25. So it's the NFC Stars who will get the ball first. And Charles, as we alluded to, we've got a different era of coach on each sideline. So the man coaching this NFC squad, we'll call him Young John Madden. This is a coach who was trying to establish a foothold in the NFL and on the cusp of doing it very successfully.
Yeah, you think back to that period, those early days as the coach of the Raiders, the late 60s in the AFL and then in the NFL in the early 70s. Coach was a guy who was ahead of his time. The Raiders were one of the first teams to have mini camps, one of the first to film practice, because he wanted to practice coaching as much as he could. And his teams, they were successful right from the start of his head coaching tenure.
Favre. He'll get this one to Cup, complete. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
15 yards on the play, first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Let's be smart. Let's go, baby. What's the deal, y'all? Go do this. Let's smart, baby. Bring it. Bring it.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. Off the play fake, here's Favre. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And he's going to be out of bounds here all the way down inside the 10. It's a big play that time for the NFC. 41 yards.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan today, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. Now Favre. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Hall of Famer, Junior Seau. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
So, Charles, as mentioned, we've got another Coach Madden over here on the AFC sideline. Of course, his Raiders, members of the AFC West. So this is a conference he battled in for his entire career. And you think about the landscape of the NFL as he was getting into the back half of his tenure. It was a golden era for coaches. You had Don Shula, Tom Landry, Chuck Noll, Bud Grant. But it was John Madden who had the best winning percentage of them all, CD. 759, the best ever.
Brandon, it's hard to believe he could be so successful in a conference with all those great teams. The Steelers won 4 Super Bowls. The Dolphins won 2 and were a mainstay in the playoffs. The Colts were tough. The Broncos came on late and went to a Super Bowl themselves. But against Hall of Fame coaches, John Madden's record, 36, 16, and 2. That's pretty incredible. His Raiders were a factor each and every year.
They'll try and pound it with a big back Bettis. And he will have the first down as he's up to his 17-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. I guess if you're going to run for it on 3rd down, not a bad idea to get behind your Hall of Fame left tackle there, Anthony Munoz.
He was so good, it was like a guard and a tackle was in the same body. You know, it was almost like they had an extra blocker at the line of scrimmage. Phenomenal player and really prepped it well at USC, where they ran those power sweeps behind him in a big way.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Now the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Still first down.
The full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. They'll run with Allen. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a first down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
So we're through one at the Coliseum in Oakland. 0-0 our score. This is the John Madden Legacy game on EA Sports. 2nd and 2. The AFC with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 2nd down and 2 coming up. Pass to Brown. He's got it on the crossing route. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards there, first down.
And we see Tim Brown there flashing the ability that made him a member of both the College and the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Received the gold jacket from the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2015. Brand, I don't know if you remember this. When he played in the Cotton Bowl, when he was at Notre Dame after he won the Heisman,
right,
he was such a marked guy that after a punt return or a catch, can't remember which, one of the Texas A&M players after the tackle, they took his towel out of his pants and ran to the sideline with it like it was a souvenir. You know how competitive Tim Brown is? He jumped up, chased the guy down, tackled him, and snatched the towel back before he went over to the sidelines on Notre Dame's side.
That's fantastic. And all the way in for the touchdown. Tim Brown, 64 yards. And the AFC is in for 6. Well, the game had been pretty uneventful offensively until that big strike.
No doubt about it. Almost felt like they were just going back and forth a little bit in the first quarter. But in the second quarter, things ramped up a little bit. Things jumped up. And you're exactly right. Going to make a highlight film or two. We'll be watching that one later on today.
Now Adam Vinatieri for the point after. And he's got it to make it 7-0 AFC. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it ends with an AFC touchdown. And here's Vinatieri now to kick it away after the touchdown. This one taken just inside the 10. And he won't quite make it to the 25. With the NFC offense coming out here, and you know, Charles, Coach Madden always said that if he had one drive to win a game and he had to pick a quarterback, he would pick Kenny Stabler. But I think if you asked him to omit any of his Raiders players, there's a good chance the guy he'd select would be Brett Favre.
Brett Favre is always smiling. He's always laughing. He's always talking to someone. He remembers that it's a game. And if it's a game, you should have fun.
And Brandon, that always reminds me of a great movie line where one of the players was telling the coach, every time I say it's a game, you say it's a business. And every time I say it's a business, you say it's a game. With Coach, it was always a game.
They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at second down. So the 3-time Pro Bowler Javon Curse with a tackle there.
And you get selected for that game because you are a consistently dominant performer. And that's what he is. We always think about him being a pass rusher, but he can play the run as well, a guy that you just have to game plan for every week.
Favre on second down. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's third.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. They'll set up a throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, they've moved the ball okay here in these first 2 drives, but this one's going to, again, amount to nothing. They've got to start dialing up some plays that allow them to finish drives with points.
So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. Back deep, 2-time Pro Bowler Dante Hall. 51 yards on the punt there. And the AFC will take over 1st and 10. Now the AFC making their way out, and it's one of Coach's favorites, another local guy, Tom Brady, who will be at the controls. And boy, Coach always admired the way number 12 could run an offense, and especially his ability to stay calm under pressure.
Tom Brady is a guy who's always looking downfield. He never looks at the rush. He hangs in the pocket, and he makes a throw. He's a cool guy, and he's a tough guy. Let me tell you, there's no one calmer in the pocket than Tom Brady.
And I know that Coach has a great appreciation for Tom Brady, who turned 45 back on August 3rd, because Coach coached a guy like him in George Blanda, who played a long time in the NFL. In this game, it features legends and active players. Tom Brady qualifies as both.
And he cannot get rid of it. The NFC getting in there for the sack. It'll be a loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. Well, when you time those screen passes perfectly, they can work perfectly, but that time it took a little too long to develop.
And you zeroed in on exactly what makes that play go. Timing. Because if the timing's off at all, those unblocked defenders coming at the quarterback, they'll put him on the deck.
Let's go, baby. Come on, baby. It's game time. Let's go. Let's go, boys. Let's go. Let's play. Let's play now, baby. That's what it is. That's what it is.
2 minutes remain here in the first half of the John Madden Legacy game. We'll be back. Hey, we want to let you know, give you a fair warning that coming up at halftime, the folks at EA Sports have put together a very nice package in tribute to Coach Madden. So make sure you stick around for that. Again, coming up at halftime. Now the NFC going to call the first of their 3 timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on 3rd and long. They stay on the ground with Allen. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On is the Hall of Famer Ray Guy to punt this away on 4th down. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. The NFC heading back out. Hall of Famer Randy Moss a part of this offense. And Coach Madden, boy, he always appreciated the ferociousness with which number 84 attacked the football in the air.
As Randy Moss says, just chuck it up there, dog, and I'll go get it.
And, Coach, boy, did he ever go get it. Over 15,000 receiving yards, 156 touchdowns. And how about this? From his rookie year of 1998 until 2009, those were his prime seasons, right? He led the league in touchdowns 5 times, but even more so, he showed us all how to go up and get it. Great body control. No one's ever done it better playing the ball in the air.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. The first catch of the game for George Kittle. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. On 2nd down, Favre. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. From the shotgun, it's Favre. Man open, it's Kupp. He's got it. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give them 25 yards.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw again. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Rod Woodson. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? On the toss, here's Allen. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Now the AFC going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. From the 35 on second down, Brady. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not at all.
Because those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
On 1st and 10, here's Brady. Tyreek Hill's got another one. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. Now the AFC going to take a timeout. It's their second as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half. The ball resting on the 20. Here's 2nd and 6. Now Brady. And he'll just get rid of it.
Well, you know you don't want to make a mistake in that area, so you make sure you make a smart throw. Throw it out towards the sidelines. If you overshoot your guy, so be it. It's just the incompletion that we saw there.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now a toss play. Allen. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to about the 19. Now a signal and a timeout call as it comes with 9 seconds to go in this first half of play. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. The career leader in field goals made knocks that one through, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half. From the 10. And he returns this to the 22. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the... So we're at halftime of the John Madden Legacy game, and now we present a special tribute to the man of the hour, narrated by the Raiders' own Trey Mosley.
What comes to mind when you hear the name Madden? Is it the coach who led the Raiders to their first Super Bowl victory? Perhaps it's the broadcaster who entertained millions of fans. Or maybe it's the video game, known simply by his name. But no matter what comes to mind when you hear the name Madden, everyone thinks of one thing: football.
The core of it was football. It's the greatest game in the world. The left goes to the right goes to the left.
Madden is on the field. He wants to know if it's real. John Madden goes on the shoulders of his players.
In my mind, John Madden is the most important figure in the history of professional football. Show me somebody else who did it on 3 levels the way John did it. There's nobody.
Boy, Charles, yeah, that is really well done. Coach was something else, wasn't he?
I'm reminded what Al Davis said when he was inducted coach of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Brandon. He loved the game. He loved his team. He loved the Raiders. He loved this league. And you can see it with everything he does.
No doubt. But it's quite possible, though, that now he would say, hey, enough of that. Let's play some football. The second half forthcoming from Oakland. The AFC going to get the football first here as we are back underway from Oakland in the John Madden Legacy game. Takes it at the 7. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The AFC offense set to take their next drive. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. Brady's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. It'll be a loss of 5 there as the safety blitz winds up paying off. So now, Charles, to pick up the story we've been telling, John Madden at 42, he just completed a 10-year stint as the coach of the Raiders. He wants to step away a bit from the grind of coaching, but he doesn't want to step away from the game of football. So he ends up signing on with CBS in 1979 to try his hand at broadcasting. And much like his coaching career, he was pretty much an instant success.
Partner, he really connected with the people right from the start, and people may not remember he wasn't even on the #1 team in the beginning. He worked his way up. But the same things that made him a great coach made him a great broadcaster. The ability to show the big picture, yet break it down into the details. That's what he did with his teams. That's what he did with the people. That way, he was simple to understand, yet insightful for viewers. And he did with that big personality that he had, one that connected with everyone.
Here's Ray Guy now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The offense for the NFC ready to get their next drive started. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
So for Coach Madden, Charles, by 1981, his broadcasting career is really taking off. He's elevated to the network's #1 booth that calls all the big matchups. And he gets the plum assignment of calling Super Bowl 16, 49ers and Bengals, and he's teamed up with Pat Summerall. And that pairing ultimately would go on to be one of the most influential in sports broadcasting history.
Influential not just in us listening to them. Remember, they went on and called 8 Super Bowls together. But how they put together kind of the template that all of us broadcasters follow now. Sitting down with the head coaches and the quarterbacks and the stars of each team before a ball game to get extra information. And the way that those two paired together, Pat Summerall, short, concise, to the point, and turned it over to Coach Madden to fill in all the big details.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Now back to throw. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done. As you mentioned, CD, talking about John Madden, the broadcaster, he called 8 Super Bowls with Pat Summerall, 3 more with Al Michaels later in his career. He spent nearly 3 decades in the booth all told. And not only was he beloved for his mannerisms, we know that, but he was an innovator as well.
Yeah, Brandon, you're talking about things like the telestrator, which totally became identified with him, and now it's a staple for all analysts to have in the booth. And then you think about things like turducken on Thanksgiving, when he used words like boom and pow. He helped create the All-Madden team. He was a very popular commercial pitch man. And even the Madden Cruiser was unique, and you had to be someone to get a ride on it, too.
Now, CD, we did get a little ahead of ourselves talking about John Madden, the broadcaster in the 90s and 2000s, because there was another product during that time period that he became quite famous for, and it's something that you and I know a little bit about, and that's the video game that bears his name. Originally John Madden Football when it was first released back in the late 1980s, and now known the world over simply as Madden.
And Coach saw this originally as a way to teach the game of football. The early designs were for a 7-on-7 game, but he said no chance. He would not sign off on it. He wanted to be as realistic as possible. He told him, call me when it's 11-on-11, and he got his wish.
Yeah, after that debut, Madden the video game continued to pick up steam through the 90s in a big way, and John himself, many will remember, was a commentator for the series for many years. And now here we are in the 2020s, and this game has sold somewhere in the neighborhood of 150 million copies. So, CD, you look at the accumulation of John Madden's achievements in the world of football, the coaching success, the Super Bowl title, the incredible career as a broadcaster with 12 Emmy Awards, Madden the video game. It was very fitting back in 2006 that John Madden got the call to be enshrined into the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
A more deserving person you will not find. He gave an incredible speech on that day, Brandon. So many of his former Raider players were in attendance. He talked about how he envisioned that when the last person turns off the lights in the hall every night, that the bus talk football amongst themselves. And what a discussion that might be.
Yeah, he finished his speech by saying, today feels like the second time in my life that I'm being carried off on the shoulders of others. Yet instead of off the field, it's into the Hall of Fame. This has been the sweetest ride of them all. Here's Favre to throw. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Cup. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. You think about John Madden in his retirement years post-broadcasting. He was about as active as most people are in their working years. I mean, he continued to play a key role on the NFL's competition committee. He was available to a wide range of people as a tutor, as a mentor. He continued to teach the game of football to all who would listen. And, Charles, as you and I know, he even continued to provide input, a lot of input on the Madden video game.
Yeah, I know a lot of folks that design and build this game certainly look forward to their yearly visits out to the Madden compound that he had out in the East Bay. They pitch the new aspects of each year's game to him, get his feedback, and then get to sit back and spend 6 hours with him on a Sunday, watching football and listening to him tell stories and talk even more ball. It had to be an incredible experience for all involved.
Let's ride, dog.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick-6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the third row.
From the gun, it's Favre. Throw left side, completion to Rice. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
So 2 of 2 on third down conversions on this drive, and now they face a 3rd and 3 here. On third down, they'll run it with Sanders. And he's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
There's no question that coming into this game, this defense is pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game. And all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
So 2 minutes to play in the John Madden Legacy game. The AFC trying to finish this one off. We're back to Oakland after this. So it's the NFC with the football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. So a big one coming now for Morton Anderson. From the left hash, a 31-yard attempt. Anderson's kick is good, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So you knew one way or another that they needed the 2 scores. They get the easy one out of the way. Now they'll get the ball back, hopefully.
Yeah, and the question is, how do you accomplish that? Do you onside kick it? Or since you have all 3 timeouts, do you kick it deep? To me, I'm playing field position. With all 3 timeouts, I kick it deep and try and pin them back there.
After the made field goal, Anderson back out to kick it away. No run back here for Hall, and this will come out to the 25. The offense for the AFC set to go now. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. They keep it on the ground. Allen again. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Now the NFC going to take a timeout their 2nd. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
Once again, we got to do it as a group, man. Let's go.
Up the middle they run with Bettis. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they will take a knee here. Now a give up the middle to Bettis. And he is across midfield from 149 to the other 49. A gain of just 2. Well, this has certainly been special. And Charles, as we wind down toward the end of this John Madden legacy game, your final thoughts?
Well, let's face it, partner, it's going to be hard to overestimate the impact that he made, not just on the sport of football, but on his family, friends, players, co-workers, and in the lives of millions of Americans who watched him. There will never be another John Madden.
I don't know about you, partner, but watching them take the knee there and finish this one off, I feel like I'm going to be sore tomorrow. This was one bruising affair, low scoring, but my kind of football.
Not a work of art, but maybe in your world, a little bit of a work of art. You like the defensive side.
I thought it was pretty. I can't help myself. I thought it was pretty.
And it ends in a kneel down as the clock rolls down to zeros. So it's a win here for the AFC on an incredible afternoon of football and remembering the life of John Madden. Before we go, one final message. And for all of us at EA Sports, this one's for you, Coach.
I just say this, I thank you all very much. This has been the sweetest ride of them all.